Yeah, this is a topic that I often defend, yet understand everybody's um, comment of family knew what was going on, and I got no offers of help, and that is true. I don't hold it against them because there were a lot of reasons why they wouldn't have asked or inquired. Um, For example, my two older half sisters, my dad's children from his first marriage, we were all estranged a good almost 8 or 9 years before the decline. And I don't even have the full story, but I would not have expected them to reach out when they heard about our dad and his decline with congestive heart failure and so on and so forth. But as for the rest of the family, both on my mom and dad's side, as much as my dad loved brag complaining to his family of how ill he was and how ill his wife, my mom, was, there was a disconnect still that he created where he didn't want anybody to see him that way. So had anybody ever offered to come over, he would have said no. And I grew up in a family where the children take care of the parents, so why would he accept help from anybody? Because in their eyes, this is the natural course of events. But the biggest culprit issue is we had no family in the state. When my parents moved down here, they followed my mom's mom and dad, my grandparents, who became snowbirds. Otherwise, there was no family down here. Since then, we've gained a cousin of my mom's who moved down here. I'm not quite sure when she moved down here. I'm not going to lie, but she didn't come into our lives until I was 21. And the caregiving and the health decline was underway, but my mom was not close to her to reach out or anything like that, and my dad wouldn't have allowed it. Otherwise, all of our family is in New York or New Jersey, or they've spread out since then to other states. But at the height of all this, everybody's in New York or New Jersey. And with their own age and health concerns, they were not going to come down for anything. They didn't come down for my wedding, and I don't hold that against them. You know, it's a big expense with their age and own health concerns. And so they weren't going to come down with this stuff, you know. When my grandpa was alive and his wife, they would visit, but they stopped visiting when my dad's health declined, and I would take my mom to go visit them at their condo when they were down for snowbirds. Everything was just very strategic when there was anybody down to visit. And oftentimes, if somebody was down to visit, my dad would cancel the plans last minute. And I grew up with, you don't let them know. You don't let anybody know what it's like. So while my friends knew I was a caregiver and knew I had responsibilities that were different than theirs, they didn't know what it was like inside the house. They didn't know what the day-to-day life was. And I didn't tell them. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my family. I didn't tell my friends. I went along with what the expectations were of me, and that was taking care of them and keeping my mouth shut. So yeah, family knew there was a decline, but they didn't, and they knew it was my responsibility, but it was also expected to be my responsibility. So yeah. I'm saying this aloud and I'm going, this is nuts, but that's the truth of it. Hopefully this cycle ends with me, both in my health doesn't poop out when my kids are teenagers. We have no control over that to some degree. Like my mom with MS, multiple sclerosis. I mean, she did nothing. There was no way to prevent that. My dad's congestive heart failure and diabetes and all of that, to some degree, he could have prevented. But regardless, I do not want to put that expectation on my kids that they have to take care of me or my husband or both of us, especially in their youth, like I was. And should they decide to take on taking care of us, I want it to be their decision when they are adults, when they don't have to also worry about being a teen and going to school and going to college and finding their path in life. I really don't want that for them. And I'm going to do what I can so that that doesn't happen for them. So, yeah, I hold no grudges. I hold no ill will. I just know I don't want it to continue for the next generation. I hope you're doing well. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.